Welcome back. I'm Mike with Woodcraft716.com. On this channel, we build some really awesome projects with inexpensive tools. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you're notified of any new content. If you're new to woodworking, you can build this too. It's not hard. None of the tools or techniques we use are very difficult. Today I'm going to show you how to build this awesome rustic farmhouse mini fridge council table. That's a mouthful. But these plans could easily be changed by sliding this over a little bit, making these shelves a little bit smaller. You'd have a perfect desk just by changing the height. Okay, let's get started. So the customer sent me a picture and asked if I could build this. She sent me the dimensions for the mini cooler and some other dimensions that they needed, and we're going to build this for her. To accommodate for the height of the mini fridge, the tabletop is going to be 37.5 inches. I'm going to take off 1.5 inches for the tabletop, and I'm going to cut the 4 corner legs at 36 inches. Looking at our picture here, the center legs need to be 1.5 inches shorter because this rail is going to run from inside to inside. So we're going to go ahead and cut those at 34.5. Looking at our picture again, we're going to cut this center rail, which is in between the two ends, at 49 inches. I'm only going to cut one 2x4 and then split it in half for 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches. We also need to cut 9 of these end rails at 21.5. Okay, the customer just called and they want to switch sides with the mini fridge to the other side, which is fine because we haven't gotten that far yet. So the next thing we need to do is cut these two front rail and back rails for the shelving. They're going to be 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches by 23.5. We'll get 2 out of each piece, so I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces at 23.5 inches. Then we need to cut these X pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before we head over to the table saw. I'm just going to cut those a little extra large so that we can nibble them down to fit. The top is going to be 1x6. It's going to be 56 inches long by 24 deep. We're going to cut them both a little bit extra so that we can trim it up after. All of our lumber is cut. Now we need to take it over to the table saw, joint one end, flip it over, put it up against the fence, and square them up even at about 3 inches. Now it's time to start drilling some pocket holes. So when I went to measure my cross members for the side pieces, they were supposed to be 20 inches and not 21.5. So when I tried to cut them down, you could see my pocket hole blew out right through it. And if you're wondering why I have my coat on, it's because pieces like this go into the burn pile. Oh well, staying warm. We'll make another one, or 9. Okay, we're going to start to glue and screw and clamp the tabletop together. I'm going to start with 2 boards and I'm going to keep working my way back. I'm going to start from one end and work to the other. I'm also going to keep one edge lined up so that we can just trim the other edge when we're all finished. So the next thing we want to do is put these adjustable feet in there in the bottom of each leg, just in case the table rocks at all. We'll be able to adjust it. So we're going to drill a countersink 3/4 inch wide to receive this piece, and then we're going to drill another hole to receive the screw so that if we put it all the way down, that the screw has a place to go. Then we can put the adjustable feet in, just like that. Okay guys, looking back at the picture, we want to sand the insides of these rails and the insides of the legs before we assemble it, because it's just going to be hard after when the X's are put in there. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to be using these bench cookies. If you don't know what a bench cookie is, I'll put a card at the end of this video on how to make these really cheap. They're great for sanding. They hold your material real well. The other thing I wanted to mention is sandpaper. Don't be afraid to use plenty of sandpaper. As your sandpaper gets dull, the time that it takes you to sand with dull sandpaper is going to cost you more than just buying the sandpaper itself. So go ahead and be liberal with your sandpaper. We're going to assemble the legs now. The only thing we need to remember is to keep the pocket holes on top facing up so that the tabletop covers up the pocket holes, and the other pocket holes facing down. Glue, clamp, screw them together, and they'll be good to go. Okay, this outside leg is done. We're just going to do the same to the other side. Man, this thing is coming out good. We put our center support in, we put our two back supports in, and this thing is solid, man. I can move it from the weak leg end and move the whole table around. This thing is rock solid. I think it's looking good. So the next thing we're going to do is put these little grooves in for the tabletop fasteners. If you haven't seen the tabletop fasteners, they're sold by Rockler. They're just a little Z-clip that will hold the top down on the unit. So to do that, we're going to use the router, and I just have my palm router, and this doesn't have a fence. It's an old Porter cable. It works just fantastic. So I clamped on a piece of wood to use as a guide for my depth. So this is just a 1/4 inch straight bit that I'm going to use to make these grooves. I'm also going to put more grooves in than I need so that if the table's a little off, I'll be able to position those to pull the table down. So you just see me here sanding down the X braces before we cut them to size. It's a little bit easier if they're all sanded up first. Now we're going to start putting the X's in, and all we're going to do is clamp it in position, mark it, and take it over to the miter saw and cut it at that angle. Now we're just going to clamp on the other side, mark it, and cut it, and we'll have to cut 2 more extra cuts to get on either side of this cross. And we'll take it back to the miter saw. And there you go. We're going to glue it and probably screw it along the tops and the bottoms and brad nail it in the middle. Okay, the X's are just sitting in place. We're just going to glue them and brad nail them. We're going to go ahead and hit this tabletop with the sander. As you can see here, I moved on to the cabinet face. I'm just going to go ahead and sand everything, all the little holes we filled, all the little cracks we filled. I'm going to make this thing really smooth. Now that it's all done, I'm going to flip it over and just ease the edge on the feet so that they don't split. So I've just rounded over the edges of the tabletop with the 1/8 inch round over, and now you can see me, I'm just cleaning it up with some 180 sandpaper. Okay, we got the whole unit sanded. It looks real good. I just want to take a minute and talk about the old top versus the new top. The old top is wobbly and it's got a crown in it real bad. So we're going to take a look at how we're going to address this and fix it for the new top. I wonder what I could do with this one. If you like these kind of videos, just let me know in the comments below. I answer all the comments that come in, and if you have any future ideas on builds, let me know. Okay, so we're going to move on to pocket holing the new tabletop. And I'm just going to put a couple pocket holes in and we'll get started gluing and assembling this. Man, I'm glad that we decided to redo this top. This one's coming out so much better than the other one. We got it glued and pocket holed. We're going to hit it with the belt sander and then orbital sander at about 80 grit. Take that up to 220 and we'll be good. This thing will be great. It's looking real good right now. As you can see, I'm just working it over with the belt sander. Gonna get a nice flat edge on this and flip it over and do the other side. The top's almost done. We still have to hit it with the 220 sandpaper. So we're going to go ahead and use the 1/8 inch round over and round over all the edges for the top piece. Did you see how nice those bench cookies worked? I'll put a card at the end of this video. You can check it out. Okay, tabletop's looking sweet. Next thing we need to do is just paint the cabinet itself. We're going to use a spray paint first and then come back and paint it white and distress it. Okay, cool. This thing is flipped over and dry, and we're just going to put a coat of white paint on it and see how it looks so we can distress it. I'm just going to use a roller and a brush and put it on. Okay, I'm just using this Minwax pre-stain conditioner on the tabletop while the white is drying. So we're just going to go ahead and put this on. It preps the surface and kind of prevents some of the blotchiness that happens with pine. So we're going to go ahead and put this on, wait about 30 minutes, and then wipe off whatever's left on there. We're going to let that sit for about 30 minutes and it'll be ready for stain. Pre-stain's all wiped off. I'm going to use two different stains on this. I'm going to use Early American and Red Mahogany. Really gives a nice color, plus I'm trying to match a color for a customer. So I really like the way that turns out. I'm going to go ahead and just stain it up real quick. I'm going to start with the Early American and then I'll apply the Red Mahogany. You'll see how the Red Mahogany really makes the grain pop. Now I'm going to apply the Red Mahogany and you'll really see how the grain will pop. It really leaves a nice color. And that's it. I think it looks fantastic. It should match the other color pretty close, I think. We're just going to use this Minwax polyacrylic high gloss. We're going to give it probably 3, maybe 4 coats, lightly sanded in between, and this is going to give us a super nice finish. Okay, we're going to go ahead and sand it and give it another coat. Now we'll let this dry, sand it, give it another coat. Now we'll just let this dry, sand it again, and give it another coat. Man, I am loving this assembly cart. This thing works out perfect. It's just the right height. It rolls under my counter. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. It rolls around. It's the perfect height, where if I put this on the table saw or the countertop, it would be just too tall. So this works out just great for me. So while we're waiting for the top to dry, we're going to go ahead and put another coat of white on the base cabinet. This is where all the magic happens. This is where all your hard work pays off. We're going to put our final coat on the tabletop. We're going to distress the white cabinet, put it all together, and that's when, I mean, it really starts coming together. We're going to put a coat of wax on everything. This thing is going to be nice. Okay, this is all dry. It's looking real good. We can quit right now, but we're going to take it to the next level and put a couple coats of the Johnson's paste wax on there with some 4/0 steel wool. It'll really give it this furniture finish that we're looking for. Bam, just like that. It's looking real good. We'll probably put one more coat on. This thing is looking great. It's painted white, it's ready to go. We're just going to ease up the edges with this 120 sandpaper to show the spray paint underneath. Really give it that rustic look. Now that we eased up all the edges, the picture that the customer sent me was lightly distressed. So I'm just going to go hit the whole thing again with, I'll probably use 100 grit because that'll take off a little bit more. But you always want to stop shy of what you think is going to be good, because when we put the paste wax on there, it's going to take off a little bit more and it'll make those spots a little bit darker. So we're going to put a nice thick coat of wax on, and we're going to hit the face surfaces that we already have waxed and give that a second coat. So I got it upside down with the top laying down, so we can put that on next. But before we do that, I want to put these adjustable feet on. They're just felt tip plastic feet. If you remember, we put the threaded holes in the legs, so we're just going to go ahead and screw these on. To put the top on, we're going to use these Rockler tabletop fasteners. They have a hole on one side. They'll just go in this little router that we've made and pre-drill, screw it, and it'll clamp it down to the tabletop. This thing is done, and man, does it look nice. Look at that top, that reflection on the top. High gloss, just like in the picture. Lightly distressed, just like in the picture. I think the customer is going to like this. The opening for the fridge is just the right size, so I think this one came out real nice, and you can build it too. And if you haven't seen the shelf that goes with this, I made a video on that with the most basic tools. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And remember to hit that bell icon so you're notified of any new content we have. And remember to always create and inspire others. We'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.